Hey ladies, for some reason we got disconnected here, so we are gonna start. Oh my goodness. Hey, we got disconnected. Can you guys see me? If you can, please send some hearts or say yes, I see you. Unfortunately, there was some disconnection. I don't know what's going on with the internet because it is fully up, but I'm just gonna search in the group. Oh good, Melissa sees me. Yay. Awesome. I'm gonna just check in the group. Okay, cool. The video's back up. So I hope those of you can see the video, but we are back. So I was just talking about the hurricane and how we can just try to raise more awareness to get more people to donate, because even, every little bit counts. But my mom had a really cool idea, and her and my dad retired. They do some other stuff, like they have like their own business. My dad flips houses for fun now, like in his retirement. They have income properties. Hi, Kara, great to see you. But they have a camper, and they said they are trying to figure out if there is a way that once everything is sort of settled there and they need people to go and volunteer to clean up, they're going to see if it's possible that they can drive the camper down to Texas and do some volunteer work. And I thought, oh my God, how cool would that be? I would love to be able to do something like that. Of course, my brain's like going all around, like, how can I get that to work with my husband? But he works here, so that's the cool thing, right? When you have a business, that you can work remotely, you can work on a laptop or whatever, like something like that is possible. You can just get in your car and go help other people. I have to be here at home with my husband, with the baby, but for my parents, like, that's awesome. I really hope that they get to go do that. It sounds like a lot of fun to be able to just go out there and meet people and help people and clean up. And, because just, I know personally, just from like, we had flooding here back years ago in Jersey when my grandparents were around, and their home was flooded. And I remember just like how much work it took and how just like a couple extra hands could go such a long way. So yes, so let's just dive in today. So today we're talking about fear of success. Has anyone had this before? If you've experienced this, please raise your hand. I know it's something I've definitely experienced myself. I used to have all of these beliefs, like actually a friend called me out on it last summer, because I said to her, I was like working nonstop around the clock. This was before I found out I was pregnant. So let's just say it was July of 2016. And she said, Kate, like, what are you going to do someday? Yeah, Sue's raising her hand. She's experienced this. What are you going to do someday once your business grows and grows? Like, you're going to need to learn to like hand stuff off, and, you can't do everything. Like, you can't be on all the time. And I was like, absolutely not. Like, I have to be on all the time. Like, it's just always going to be like this. Like, this is my new reality. It's just working all the time. And I remember we sort of got into an argument about it, actually. And it's funny because, yeah, your close friends will call you out and will argue with you, right? When you need to be argued with, when you're not making sense. And we were just laughing about this recently when we were together, and just saying how, I was like, remember how like delusional I was? How I thought like I had to do everything in my business myself. And like, the more I built my business, like the more I would just have to be in it. And yeah, she was like, yeah, there was no like convincing you, like you truly believe that. So I really understand this topic, the fear of success. Let me actually post this link again for you guys who don't have the blog post right by you. But this is something that we are going to talk big time about when I do my retreat here in New York in the end of September. Success and abundance mindset, because this is definitely something that people struggle with. In my blog post, I'm just going to go over this briefly with you guys. I talked about a few things, and I said, what does the fear of success, how does this impact your life or business? And I had a couple little points, and one was it keeps you playing small. Number 2, it holds you back from opportunity. Number 3, it entices you to procrastinate because you keep looking bigger picture, and it feels so big that you don't actually know where to start. And I had this conversation with a client yesterday. She was like, I just want to do so many big things in the world, but they're so big, like I can't do them right now. And I said to her, you just have to start small. You've got to make that big impact where you are sitting right now with whoever that is. And like personally, I'll use myself as an example. When I think this, I even tell myself, like those days where baby's screaming like this and I don't have help, and like gladly right now I have someone helping with her. But I just tell myself, you know what? I can't make an impact on the internet today. I can't make an impact with my ladies that much today, but I'm going to make an impact on her life, because someday she will go out there and she will share and teach and shine a light to other people who need to be shined a light on. And you know, the impact I make on her will have a ripple effect, and then that will have a ripple effect. So sometimes it can be really scary, right? It can feel so overwhelming when you see this big thing that you want to achieve and you want to do it right now, but you have to start small. So maybe that's just being really kind to the lady or the man who checks you out at the grocery store, or like opening a door for someone. It's like small little things like that make such a huge difference. Kara says, so good. We have to focus on where we can make the impact in the moment. So important. Love this. Yes, exactly. So I think we procrastinate because we're so overwhelmed and we don't know, like, how do I make that happen? But you just, again, start small. Yay. Susan says, hashtag the ripple effect. Yes, yes, yes. And Susan, you and I, like our conversations, like I don't think you realize sometimes how much of an impact our conversations, like the things that you say, have on me, right? Because you say certain things to me that really inspire me, and then I go share that with other people. Like something silly you said to me like a few months back, I actually mentioned to one of my coaching clients yesterday. I was like, yeah, my accountability buddy said this thing to me once, because it was something she was going through, and she was like, oh my God, how cool is that? So you just don't know the impact that you're making on people. And don't let that, like that big picture again, push you and make you procrastinate. Just start small. Number 4, the fear of success also has you self-sabotaging, right? Because again, it looks so big, it looks so hard. There's no way that I could make that happen. Like it's too scary. Again, no, you have to just start small. And yeah, if somebody were to have told me, let's say even last year, I'd be doing what I'm doing right now, there's no way I'd be able to move forward at all. And I probably would have self-sabotaged because I would be so fearful of like, how could I handle it all? There's no way I could handle all of that. But I really believe like you're given in life what you can handle. And it's hard because some people are given a lot, right? And they handle it. And you just have to always tell yourself, like, the more that you go through in life, like if I were to have been handed some of the things that I've gone through recently when I was 21 years old, there's no way, right? I would have been like, I would have been paralyzed. I would have just been like stuck in my shoes. I wouldn't have been able to do them. But we learn like little by little how to get through things, and we build up a thick skin, and things get easier. So again, you have to just don't self-sabotage. Don't look at that big picture all the time, but just look at today. How can you make that next step today to get you a little bit closer to where you want to be in the future? So it's hard. Yeah, Sue says it's hard to recognize self-sabotage at times. It's so hard. And I think it's really important that you have an accountability buddy, or you have a one-to-one coach, which I know you do have, Sue. Someone who can just sort of call you out and tell you when you're self-sabotaging. Even it could be your spouse or significant other. I know my husband has done that to me before, and I recently called him out too, actually. I was like, you're not thinking big enough. Because he was like, I want to do this, this, and this, but I can't. And I'm like, no, you're just not thinking big enough. You're not thinking outside the box enough. You're getting in your own way right now. So yes, and faith does grow us stronger, like Susan says. Exactly. Susan, read my post this morning on Instagram. Yeah, I don't know where I would be without faith, right? Like having that belief in something higher than yourself. For me, it's my belief in God. It's incredible just knowing that someone else is out there helping you and cheering you on. Lou says, I love to think of how can I? Exactly. I love that. How can I? Natalie says, can you share how to recognize it? Comment after the live if you want. Thank you. So, how to recognize the self-sabotage. I guess one quick way would be to just ask yourself when you start I think it's easy to recognize when you're like saying things over and over again. So for myself, one way that I self-sabotage is saying I don't have enough time. Okay, so I want you, Natalie, like think about, is there a particular saying that you say over and over again? And maybe you have to ask people, like, is there something that I say all the time when maybe I'm feeling overwhelmed? Can you tell me what that is? Because usually that's the key that you're self-sabotaging. So for me, I know my husband calls me out when I say I don't have enough time. Like, I'd love to do that, but I just don't have enough time. And he's like, no, you have time for whatever you want to make time for. Whatever you want to happen, you can make happen. There's always enough time. So stop saying that, right? We have this conversation pretty often. I probably say it, at least like I catch myself pretty often now. So he doesn't have to call me out as often on it. But for me, that's a sign I know I'm self-sabotaging. So Natalie, is there a phrase or something that you say that you can sort of recognize that you say over and over again? Because that could be your self-sabotaging phrase. It's sort of like almost like excuses that you're putting in the way of why you can't make something happen. Kara says accountability is key. Yes, yes, yes. Safia says yes, she agrees with that. Hubbies are so good at letting us know what we say all the time, right? Oh my goodness. And Lou, your husband is such a doll. He's so sweet. Lou's in my inner circle, and sometimes her husband will pop on and say hello in our videos. It's so sweet. No, but I'm going to ask those close to me. That's a great idea, Natalie. Just ask people, like, what is a phrase that you say often when you're feeling overwhelmed? Because that's usually a sign of self-sabotage. So I had in the blog post today, we're going to just discuss really briefly how to identify if you're experiencing fear of success. So I gave 2 examples of 2 common things to look out for, things that you may be telling yourself, and then the truth to combat that example. So, Anushka's here. Hi, great to see you, Anushka. Thank you for sharing that link for the donations for the animals. That's amazing. Thank you very, very much. So the one common thing that people say, or the one common thing that happens, is you make decisions to not take the next steps because you're fearful you won't have enough time, and this was mine, or won't be able to keep up. So this is the number one thing I hear women saying. I can't take that on, although I really want to, because I won't have enough time. All right. I hear this over and over and over again, and it almost sort of makes me feel better that I'm not the only one who says this, because time is definitely my way of blocking myself from success, that excuse of time. So the lie is, I just gave this example of like, if somebody wanted to launch a mastermind. If I were to launch a mastermind and possibly have 10 to 12 additional clients, how could I keep up with 10 new clients and the work that I already have? So if you guys go to the blog post, I'm actually not going to tell you, I'm going to make you go over and read the blog post. I have the truth to combat that. So I share in there the actual truth of it, right? If you had 10 new clients, like, how could you keep up with the work you already have? Well, I'm going to tell you, it actually would make it a lot easier if you had 10 new mastermind clients. So I want to make you go over to the blog post to read that. The second one, you also make decisions to not take the next steps or say yes to opportunities because you're afraid they will impede on your social life or relationships, right? we're really afraid to take on more work. Like, oh my goodness, if I take on these clients, how am I going to keep up and also have a 9 to 5, right? I hear that pretty often. Sue says that was a great example. Thank you, Sue. Go on over to the blog post and read the truth and how I challenge that. Because you want to always, when you feel like you're blocking yourself from success, you want to play devil's advocate, right? You want to look at both sides. So that's sort of what I do with this. So the next one is you make decisions to not take the next steps or say yes to opportunities because you're afraid they'll impede on your social life or your relationships. So this was another thing, like how, like I guess I've had clients say like, how am I going to have a life if I have a 9 to 5 and I grow in my business? Well, maybe for a little bit there's going to be some sacrifice time, but in the long run, if you keep growing that business, you're going to grow yourself out of your 9 to 5, and then you're going to be in your business, and then you're going to have more time, right? And the more money that you actually make in your business, the more help that you can get. And the more help that you can get, the more time you can free up. The more time you can free up, the more space you have for relationships. I never thought I would be able to, again, like these were limiting beliefs that I had myself. These were my fears of success. I truly believed if I made it to X, Y, or Z in my business, I would have no life. I would have maybe no relationships. And I truly believed that at one point. But what I've noticed is the more and more I grow my business, the more income I can create in my business, the more that I can hire out, I can get more support, and the more time I have for relationships. And that's how I look at things now. I think it was Anna in the group had posted something the other day. If somebody could grant you either 10 extra hours of you working in your business this weekend or $1,000, which would you choose? In the past, I would have chosen time, right? I would have chosen, was it 1,000? How many hours did I just say? I can't remember. 100 hours? No, 10 hours. So I would have taken the 10 hours and because I would have said like, I just don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. So I would have taken the 10 hours to work in my business. But now I'm in a completely different mindset, and I look at it as, no, I would actually have just taken that $1,000 and invested in my team a little bit more and given them even more work to do for that $1,000. So I would have been able to be freed up to have more space and take more time with my family and relationships in my business. So there's so many different ways to look at it, and you really have to change that mindset, because I truly know like the more money I invest in my team, the more that it allows me to have more space with the baby, with my family, with my friends. And they get stuff done so fast. Like what would take me 1 hour would take them maybe 20 minutes to do. So you'll start to see like the more that you can sort of release these fears of success and push them aside, the easier that it's going to get, right? And the more you're going to want to just like take more space and really believe this. So I want you guys to go and read this article, this blog post, because I want you to see the full picture. Lou says, yes, such a great way to reframe it and see how you can make it work and all you have to gain from it. Yeah, that's all that there is. So I'm going to be honest with you guys right now with the baby. Like you heard her screaming before. I really have, and this isn't a limiting belief or anything, but I really don't have a ton of time because I'm spending it with the baby and I don't actually have a lot of help right now. I'm sort of in a transition. So I maybe have like 14 hours of help here per week, which means like I have to feed her every couple hours even when people are here. So maybe I get 10 hours of time in my business each week. And if somebody would have told me that this time last year, I would have been freaking out. I would have been like, oh, I'd have no business. There'd be no way that this could work. Absolutely not. 10 hours? Are you kidding me? I put more than 10 hours in my business each day. But no, because I've invested, because I've sort of released that fear, of success, release that fear of moving ahead, investing in my business, it actually serves me, right? Because I work in my business maybe 10 hours a week, but I'm able to invest in my team who picks up the rest of the work for me and continues to work for me during the week. So yeah, I want you guys to sort of do the math, like sit down and actually like write all of this out, because I want to work you through this fear of success. And again, that the more you create in your business, the more space you're going to be able to create in your life. And that's the main point. So any thoughts, any questions, any disagreements, any observations, I'd love to hear, guys. P.S. I think the baby fell asleep. Natalie says, haha, UES, living this. Just lost my VA. Oh, that's tough. I hope that you can find someone else, Natalie. Feel free to like ask around in the group. I'm sure somebody's got a good VA in here. I wish that I could refer my team all the time, but I know that they're pretty booked. So I'm not going to be able to. But yeah, there's got to be other people in here who have great VAs, and there's probably great VAs in here also. So I'm sure that, you know, you can get some recommendations. What I do say actually to people, when you are looking to hire someone in your business to help you work within your business, make sure that you can get a recommendation from someone who's worked with that individual for a minimum of 6 months, okay? Personally, I've just experienced this in the past. I had given recommendations of people that I had only worked with for like a month or 2 months. And then unfortunately, after that, like things started to change, things started to shift, and I wish that I had not given those recommendations. So personally, I will not recommend someone unless I've worked one-to-one with them for also for a pretty big chunk of time, for over 6 months. My team I've had for over a year now. It just, this August 1st was our 1-year anniversary. I can't believe it. So like, yeah, I would shout her from the rooftops, like refer her to anyone, but she is booked up and her ladies are booked up under her. Yeah, totally, Natalie. So any thoughts, any questions on this topic? I want you guys, again, go and read the blog post. Let me know if you guys have any other questions, any comments related to this. I also wanted to say, I sent an email out the other day that for September I had 3 spots for my 75-minute mindset reset intensive. And now I only have 2 spots left. So my business has shifted, as you guys know, with the baby, and I only actually have like a handful of days per month that I see clients, just because of the way that childcare is and everything. Oh, hi Lynn, great to see you. Baby girl's good. I think she just fell asleep. I have someone here playing with her right now. She was screaming for a while. But because of that, yeah, I have shifted things around in my business quite a bit. And, you know, maybe down the road I'll share that stuff with you. I shared with my inner circle ladies, actually. I did a little training for them on the way that things are now, because they sort of wanted to know. So I have 2 spots open for September to do intensives. And that's the only way that I work long-term with people now, is first we do an intensive together to make sure that we're a really good fit, and to make sure that, you know, we have a concrete idea of where the next steps want to go, where they want to be in their business, and then we move forward and we figure out like what feels best, whether it's working together once a month, a few times a month, whatever that is in my group program. So if any of you are interested, I have 2 more spots for September, and then I'll start booking people for October. So yeah, just private message me or whatever, and I'll send you the details. Lynn says, I can't wait for mine to be out already. Lynn, when is your due date? Is it November? I know it's coming up pretty soon. Feels like just yesterday that I saw you when I was pregnant, but that was actually January. I don't know where the time goes. October 15th. Oh my goodness, you're on the home stretch. How exciting. So exciting. If you need like suggestions or tips or anything, please post something in the Confident Ladies Club. That is like the number one way that I've learned how to be a mom, is just like ask questions, ask people. I haven't really read any books or anything. I feel like books are great, but sometimes just hearing from other moms is even better. I feel like I learn a lot. So feel free, if you have any specific questions for me, ask me. Again, like different things work for different people. So some suggestions people gave me didn't work for me. And then others did work for me. So yeah. And I promise you, like, it's really hard in the beginning, but it definitely does get easier. And there are, again, seasons like life, right? There's ups and downs. There's months and years that are easier, and then some that are harder. Oh, Lou's running to a Biz Bestie call. See you in a few hours. Yes, great. Actually, Lou, today we don't have our Inner Circle group coaching call, just to remind you, because we have 4 a month and we've done our 4 already, because tomorrow is the 1st. Our next call is next Wednesday, just so that you're not sitting around and waiting. I wanted to let you know that. Yeah, so next Wednesday is our next one. And then we have also our, what's it called? Our masterclass with Kelly Lynn Adams. Yay! So actually, if any of you guys are ever interested in joining Inner Circle, it's a great place. That's my business incubator. We do 4 group, we just change things around a little bit. So we do 4 group coaching calls now a month. We have a guest expert doing a special masterclass each month. You guys get access to all of my trainings, resources, workbooks, all of that stuff, content bundles. And then you're matched with Accountability Buddy. There's support within the Facebook group. It's just an incredible private community. The women in there, Lou is one of my ladies in there. They're very, very tight-knit. We're actually working on a really cool project together, something that we're going to be launching together in November. It's going to be a free event for everyone, and we're going to be giving tons and tons of goodness to you guys. We'll be sharing more about it in October, so make sure you are on the lookout. And if you aren't in Inner Circle yet and you're interested in joining, let me know. You can actually be a part of the special event that we're doing, because yeah, the stuff for it that I have all the ladies submitting is not due until September 15th. So if you guys are interested, you still have time to participate, just let me know. And thank you for joining today. It's so great to see you guys. Yeah, if you guys know of any other, I know I asked this earlier, any other organizations, even like, I don't know, I'm always looking for like smaller organizations to be able to donate to for Hurricane Harvey. So if you know of any, please let me know. I know Anushka posted one for animals. There were some other small ones that were listed there, but I'm just trying to brainstorm to see if there's any way that I can personally, like, I don't know, I had some thoughts. Oh yeah, doTERRA, that's what Sue said, Lynn. doTERRA is doing something for $25 donations. It's really awesome. I'm thinking about putting something together like that. I'm gonna write a post now, actually, because I think I came up with an idea. So that actually really inspired me. So thank you guys for sharing that. But great to spend time with you all today. And I will see you all next week. Take care. Bye.